welcome back to another video.
This is a little bit casual, a little bit more casual this time.
Yeah, creator of the gods.
Yeah, creator of the gods. What?
No, casual matches between JS
And you.
and me. Yes.
Yeah. This is a what is he calling it? I think the Clash of the Creators.
Clash of the Creators.
Clash of the Creators. I like it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what this is. You guys were playing Atlantic format. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, this match happened around 4 months ago, so I think it was a one strip mine format, so probably Swedish. My deck was Swedish legal, so
Okay,
probably
so
we'll say Swedish.
Yeah, most likely that. I guess we'll. All right. So this is. You've seen Roc Egg before, a few times.
Yeah.
Like not. I don't know on the channel if it's been featured.
Yeah, it's been featured a couple times. I think his approach was you sacrifice Roc Egg, get the mana, have a 4/4 flyer, then use that mana to either cast something.
Oh, like with
like
the card, with the card sacrifice.
Yeah, with the card sacrifice. Yeah.
Which is one black sacrifice a creature.
Sacrifice a creature and you add mana.
Black mana or
black? I believe it's black mana according to. But regardless, I mean he has Triskelion, Suchi.
Yeah, well, so drain life too.
Drain
right?
life.
Benefits off the black mana.
So it really fits into his deck, and I mean Blood Moons.
Usually you play Earthquake in the main, right? No, for the Roc Egg.
Maybe. I mean, usually that's what's played instead of Sacrifice. I think you just want to have a different approach to.
The Blood Moon seems well placed, honestly. Also.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really. Other than the Sacrifice, he's playing red and colorless. So the Blood Moons, I think, are gonna work really well for him.
Yeah.
And the Animate Deads. I mean, you know.
Well, yeah. Once it's full, because you could even sacrifice Triskelion for 6 black, right? For your fireballs or drain life,
exactly.
and then just animate that in.
Yeah.
So it's like ping 3, sack for 6 mana, fireball, or even just cast the animate dead with 2 of the black mana.
Yeah.
And then ping 3 again, and then the excess mana goes into a drain life for a fireball. So that seems pretty good.
Yeah. It was
pretty interesting. I mean, I'm interested to see how this goes. I mean, obviously you're playing a deck that's kind of like a no fun zone, but
no fun zone.
It's fun to play though, for sure.
This is not obviously my creation. This is, I think, it's got the louder deck.
Yeah.
I think this was his deck. So I had looked at different Swedish top 10. You know, like what placed first, and this deck seemed to have appeared quite often.
Yeah, no. This is such an efficient,
and it's so efficient. It's so like a. You know, that you shall not pass.
It's
4 counter spells, power sink, mana drain, but then you're still a little bit aggressive with the Serendibs, Sarahs, Lions. You got answers from swords to disenchants, and so I mean the deck performs really, really well. And you know, this deck has been seen, I'm sure, by everybody at least one time or another, and it's performed really well for me. Yeah.
It is very easy to lose to this deck.
Yeah,
it was very easy to lose to this deck. Honestly, I like the, you could say that a typical old school deck includes all the cards forcing black just to play the 2, like Mind Twist and Demonic Tutor. But I find out, honestly, in this deck they're more strictly utility piece than necessity. So even if you only have the 4 sources to play them. Oh, I guess this is the jet also, but like not too many. It's like it's okay because I don't think you really care necessarily to play them as soon as you have them in your hand. The way this deck plays out, it's not really interested in doing that. It's more interested in getting its creatures out, protecting them, and then using the demonic maybe to finish the game, or using the Mind Twist again, like as a utility thing. Like you'd want to hold counter spell to protect your Savannah Lion on turn 2 more than you'd want to ramp into a giant Mind Twist, I think.
Yeah.
At least that's the way I play the deck, because I mean I see it as a tempo deck where it's play my creature on turn 1, and if I can protect that creature for the rest of the game, I'll just win with that. Like I don't need to gimmick you. I just need to protect my 2/1, and then here's my 3/4, and then here's my 4/4, right? Like
and then you have a creature, swords it. Oh, you have this. Disenchant.
It's a tempo deck, right?
Exactly. So like if I could never cast Demonic or Mind Twist, it's not essential. It's like not gonna hinder my chances of winning because I have so much other, so many other cards that will just win me the game anyway. So, like I said, they're puzzle pieces. They help me. They'll assist me in like maybe finishing the game or just getting ahead of the opponent. But if I can never cast them, it doesn't really matter because then I could just counter. I could just protect my Sarahs. I could just, you know. So I had a pretty good opening hand. I found, anyways.
You know,
I'm curious to see because like this game we played I think 4 months ago, so I'm curious to.
But that'll be a nice little.
If I made a couple of bad moves, I remember I had work this day. We had a couple of beers already at this point.
Yeah.
So
don't worry. I will.
I will critique my.
I'll tear into you myself. Don't worry. It's okay.
Yeah, I know you're good for that. So you know, typical factory and soaring.
Soaring. Yeah. You starting with fast mana on turn 1?
Yeah, I never done that.
That's my PTSD for this game.
Well, I mean, JS already is now with the swords.
Yeah.
Not the swords, but the Black Lotus. Yeah, this card I remember was a little bit of a pain to get around.
Oh yeah, because I see the factory and the soul ring, and I even though we just looked at the deck pictures, I'm just thinking you're on shops because of again like our experience when we play. But so I was like, Blood Moon is not so bad if you're playing shops, but you're not playing shops. You're playing blue-white. But there you go. It's good to have the planes, right? And now you can disenchant that thing. So you got pretty lucky with that planes, I'd say, right?
That's why I believe there's 2 basic planes and 2 basic islands.
Yeah, it's good.
Simply for that, you know, Blood Moon.
Yeah, you need an out. Especially if you're playing white, you know, you might as well open yourself up to the ability to get rid of Blood Moon.
JS, okay, so I had the disenchant. So good. And
you know, I find this deck to be like, just to compare it to modern Magic a little bit, I find this deck to be more like the Delver deck than the blue-red counterburn. I don't know if that means anything to you, but even though like the blue-red is more like the colors are appropriate and they're still the similar game plan, I just for some reason maybe it's the Savannah Lions are creating the bias for me, but to me this strikes me more as like a Delver deck than the blue-red. Anyways, back to old school.
So at this point, I'm like,
draw 3 is good.
Draw 3 is good, but I'm like, okay. And I had not seen his deck, so I'm like, if he's having 1 Blood Moon, I'm gonna guess he's got others. So
well, now with the
I was
Pearl,
debating whether or not to play the Ancestral on his end step or to. And granted, for some reason I didn't activate my factory to swing in for 2, which was probably a mistake on my part.
Yeah. But you know, so the louder deck is so unforgiving. So for JS to just play a land and say go, even if it's to hold a lightning bolt up, it's like it's not enough. Like that's a basic time. To me, that's time. Like that's like a time walk. He time walked himself against your deck specifically because it's just so efficient and so unforgiving.
So at this point, I'm holding 2 blue. Not sure. I don't recall if I had a counter spell. So JS now, knowing that okay, there's a Savannah Lines, there's probably going to be a counter spell. I'm not playing mono white. Okay, yeah. So that's it. He bolted my, which is why I think I didn't attack the first time, the round previously, because I figured he's playing red. He's probably gonna have a bolt. So
JS just hoping to get to 6, to still be alive in 2 turns, basically. And then not get plowed or disenchanted, so that he can do his thing. I guess he's on game plan. Draw 2 more lands, play Triskelion, hope it doesn't die, then then draw a Drain Life or a Fireball, so I can benefit off of the sacrifice.
Yeah. So probably playing a Serendib. So I feel like, okay, I've got a bit of aggression. I'm feeling a bit comfortable.
Yeah, especially, that's just the thing. It's like you don't expect to get power synced out of this deck, and then it just happens, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, they see the 1 blue and they're so happy that they can do whatever they want. It's like, nope, you have power sync, which only requires 1 blue, and then X is any colors.
I think I let it pass because I didn't have a power sync.
Oh no, but I wouldn't counterspell this anyways. I would not counter at this point. You have Pearl, you have planes. You already have 3, 4, 5. So you have 7 damage on the board.
Oh, well, I have no blue mana source though.
Yeah,
so
but like you already have the Serendip developed,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
like the chances of you drawing another disenchant are decently high. And even if they don't, like, he still has to deal with those two things, both of them, before you start to concern yourself with, like, if you're gonna lose the game or not. Like, you're so far in the lead, I think it's okay that you don't waste a counter spell. Even if that means not being able to counter the next thing, at least you'll have it for once you find your disenchant.
So probably playing the Triskelion, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, the egg also. He drew the egg, I guess, this turn?
Maybe. It's possible. Well, he had showed his hand earlier, but I didn't get a glimpse of his hand.
The egg is just when it dies, right? It's not like you can't crack it or whatever.
No, you have to. It has to be into the graveyard, yeah. So at this point, I'm like, okay, it kind of... My line can't really attack because it's kind of pointless, so I'm still gonna... I still feel like I'm ahead because I'm like, okay, I can still swing it for 3, even with me taking 1 damage per turn. But he's also playing Burn, so... Okay, so I probably drew the power sink.
Yeah. I will say that if your whole hand is blue cards, then you have to count the Blood Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not talking like in absolute terms, just saying that like you're okay not to consider, but like I didn't see your hand. I see your hand now and it's like blue, 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 blue. So like, yeah, okay. In that case, yes. If your hand is 100% blue, yeah, you counted the Blood Moon. Do you plow? Is sacrifice part of the cost? Or it, like, you can respond by plowing the egg?
I could probably plow the egg and then sacrifice will basically you could target his Triskelion. I think. Yeah, because if he says I playing sacrifice in response, I swords his egg.
Yeah, then
his only other valid target is his Triskelion.
Oh, but it's not a target? So, like, you can't just whiff that card?
I believe it's target creature. We'll just look this up quickly. Sacrifice a creature.
Okay,
as a part of the additional
cost. So you cannot plow it. You cannot plow it.
Yeah, okay.
What a weird art. What set is this? Special guests?
Yeah. Yeah, the Oracle text versus like old school text, sometimes you forget. You're like, yeah, I have to check the actual...
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, see, the original text is destroy one of your creatures without regenerating it.
Yeah, it doesn't mention it's part of the cost.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's okay. So that bird has...
So now, like,
flying, right? So now you're fucked.
Yeah, so now I'm just like, okay, I'm not feeling that great at this moment. The only thing to save me from this is maybe a balance where he has to sack 2 of his creatures. So I'm hoping for a balance at this point, or at least the swords to kind of...
So JS ripping the egg off the top was pretty huge. Do you plow the bird? Yeah, it has to be the bird, right? Because it flies?
Yeah, yeah.
And if you can disenchant... well, I guess at this point you'd be disenchanting the moon.
Yeah, so I think I blocked his Suchi, and then I swords his bird. So now I'm hoping for at least a disenchant. So, yeah, so... Running on fumes at this point. Just trying to stay ahead. But I'm I already know he could ping me for 2, so technically I'm at 8. So, and if he's got burn spells or drain life, I'm just...
Yeah, the problem here is, okay, so actually, I think I accept the eating of my own words, because if you drew disenchant right now, you'd have to hit one of the creatures. You couldn't even afford to hit the Blood Moon, so all right, lesson learned, you definitely counter that Blood Moon, right?
Yeah.
You definitely counter that Blood Moon. Yep, good for yep. Because that lion just dies right to everything.
Yeah,
ping or even I wonder, because I don't know if it changes his clock. If you block the boom and then he attacks with 3, he's at 5. Maybe you don't have to ping the lion. Maybe you just let it block the Suchi and keep your Triskelion as a
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
interesting. So now I wonder how much of this occurs if he doesn't get the Roc Egg. Like, right, if he
Yeah.
didn't draw the Roc Egg, I wonder, like, does that change it? Does that change much?
I
Because
mean,
probably does, right? Because he
yeah.
loses the Triskelion instead of the Roc Egg. He doesn't get a 4/4 out of it, essentially losing nothing. So he wouldn't have the Triskelion anymore. He would still have the Suchi.
You still have the Suchi, you have the Roc Egg doing nothing, because it has no...
But
you still have...
no, we would say, imagine if he didn't have the Roc Egg.
Oh, okay, just on the board, period.
Because, like, his hand was Triskelion. He had enough to go up to 6 mana for Triskelion. And then the next turn he was going to probably... I don't know, whatever, to sacrifice the Triskelion if he drew something good, which he ended up drawing something else.
Yeah.
He drew the Roc Egg instead, right? So
Yeah.
it's like... The Roc Egg is, I think, what ended the game, because it basically made your
Serendip,
useless.
Useless, yeah, so...
And it allowed him to keep the Triskelion in play in order to play the Suchi also. Yeah, like that Roc Egg fucking changed everything. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good card. Good card. But the only problem, right? The problem with the Roc
So
Egg...
I mulliganed. I think I'm down to like 5. Yeah, I just drew really bad. Like, the first 2 I remember, so I'm like, okay, I got the Ancestral.
That's good. That's a good way to not have to deal with a mulligan to 5, right?
Yeah. So I saw that, I said, okay, I have the City of Brass and Ancestral.
Damn,
No fast mana, however, so...
JS has the red elemental blast in his hand, so if you would have gone first, that's a feels bad, right?
Yeah.
Mulligan to 5, hoping, that you can Ancestral and then red blast that.
He probably had that same thought. He's like, if only I had gone first. So if I recall, I think our first 3-4 rounds were just kind of, nothing's really going on. Again, this is like 4 months ago, so...
When you say rounds, you mean turns?
Yeah, turns.
Fuck, you did it again. What are you, a tired boy or something? Attacking.
I told you, that day when this was like I remember, this was a Friday night.
Yeah.
I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning, went to work, came home, got to his place at like 6-7 p.m., had a few beers.
Yeah.
So your mind is like fuzzy a bit.
I mean,
what are you gonna bust my balls, huh?
If you
this way, you think on the YouTubes now?
There's a world where he takes 2 damage and then you're pretty happy.
You take a big shot now, kid.
But hold on. If you have lands, like if you aren't gonna miss land drops, it's not as punishing, we'll say.
Yeah.
To lose like you take that gamble, the gamble becomes less punishing if you lose the gamble, should you be able to continually play lands. So let's see if you play land here. If you don't play a land here, I would be like, that's a bad attack. If you play a land here, it's like questionable attack, but not so bad. Okay, good.
There you go.
Good. Is that enough freaked?
Yeah.
I find that's the problem with that's okay. I think that's okay, right?
Yeah.
The problem with the Roc Egg is that it requires another card, right?
Yeah, so that's why I feel like you're in a negative a bit with that card, because you have to have another card for it to work efficiently.
But it can block, right?
It could block, yes. You could look at it as as a flag.
But it's 0/4?
It's 0/3.
Oh, so really, like, it doesn't fly, so nothing's really, like, nothing that is blocking except for maybe Urnum Jin. What's attacking? What creatures are there in the format, really? I mean, Triskelion, Suchi, Urnum Jin, I guess. Okay, so it has some game to die on its own. But still, for the most part, it requires another card, right?
Yeah. So, another land draw.
Another line. Good. I'm watching.
He's taunting me. He's taunting me with this because he has Diamond Valley, so he could just sack his...
Oh, yeah. Make a 4/4.
He's like, now? Huh? And I'm like, no.
It's so interesting to see these rogue decks, and I'm calling it a rogue deck only because, it could be a tier deck, maybe. You never know. Maybe maybe secretly it's a tier deck, but it's a rogue deck because no one does anything with it. To see them put up game, take matches, it keeps the spirit of old school alive, in my opinion. Oh, you're having fun over there?
Yeah. I think I had like 3 disenchants or 4. I drew all my disenchants. So I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good. I have a sword, disenchant. So
Swords, and then if he doesn't Diamond Valley it. What is Diamond Valley? Doesn't it just gain you the life or something equal to its whatever?
Yeah.
Equal to its what? Its cost? Or its power?
Power or toughness. It's power or toughness, yeah.
I wonder if he's expecting the disenchant.
Maybe he's just waiting for the Suchi to go to the graveyard. So I'm just waiting cautiously because I'm like, okay.
Yeah, is there any reason you didn't disenchant that Suchi on his instant? With all of
Because I'm kind of like, I'm playing conservatively. But I guess not.
And you'd have...
Because the fact of I'm still having I still have 2 blue sources because of the City of Brass.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what?
Hey, kid, hey.
You know, tap that planes, kids. Okay. You did it again. Make him have it. You know?
Yeah. Like I said, not like if I had been, a bit more sleep, refreshed, I probably would have used the planes and stuff too.
But the thing is like you are a creature deck, so it's like he's gonna bolt that or he's gonna bolt your Savannah line. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna bolt something.
Because I attacked anyway, so I'm like, worst case, instead of him bolting me, he's just gonna bolt my factory. It's one less threat he has. I have factories. I'm okay with my mana sources.
Yeah. I think you're fine. I think you're fine to do that. I think you're fine to do that because you have enough mana to do everything, including protection against blood moons and stuff like this. So you're fine. Just have to draw your creatures. That's all. Like Sarah Angel right now would be still fucking huge. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you even have enough to protect. My God, yeah. Sarah Angel now would be actually perfect because you can protect her with counterspell. But even JS is flooding, right? So it's like.
Yeah, I remember we're both flooding a lot this game.
God. With his Roc. Okay, yeah, you just had enough. Yeah. I mean, look, I'd be tempted to keep that counterspell in case I drew Sarah Angel, but I understand.
No, I was just like, I had enough there. No, like, I had Disenchant, I had nothing else going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was not drawing very well.
Yeah, the 4/4 just kills you.
But I'm like, okay, at least at some point I'm gonna have to draw something good because I kept having all my mana. My Disenchant, I'm like, I'm gonna have to eventually start drawing into like good cards. Fingers crossed, of course. Of course. But I'm feeling pretty good because I'm like, yay, I have Disenchant. So
yeah.
I'm like, all right.
I mean, you might as well just put him out of his misery and just show it to him.
No, I like to make them suffer.
Yeah, make them suffer a bit, yeah. Oh, wow. He brought the Suchi back. Don't bring the Suchi back. Not the Suchi. It has to be the Roc Egg, right? Because when you go to... So that's what I mean. You have to disenchant now because once the Roc Egg is in play, if you go to disenchant the enemy dead, he can sacrifice the Roc Egg with the Diamond Valley, you know? Yeah, it has to be... Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
But I think he
should have been friendly. Damn you, JS. He should have been friendly.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
I guess
he's got his 4/4. I'm like, I still have 19 life, so I'm like, okay, I got like a few turns to like figure out something. Hopefully, I don't remember if I had sided board, sided from the sideboard. What did I bring in? I don't recall. Maybe. I don't think I even took in that many cards. Maybe 1 or 2 cards.
But you guys played multiple, like more than 2 games?
Oh, you played a best of 3.
Damn. Yeah, block into balance. Demonic Tutor, balance.
So I know he's gonna ping me for 3 anyway. So like, screw it. Might as well put him out of his misery. Like, I guess those disenchants came in handy after all.
Yeah.
But I just feel like.
Yeah, the deck. I guess the deck is a little bit weak to 4/4s, eh? Fuck.
Yeah.
But Sword to Plowshare. I mean, Sarah Angel can block. Sword to Plowshare gets rid of them. But I mean, it's not.
So.
I still think the deck is just ruthless. The louder deck, despite anything that might be apparent in these games. You had the balance. Interesting. Did you just draw that? I mean, you must have just drawn that, right? There's no way here. Yeah, there's no way you're distant. But that's the thing. It's like you have so much mana. Maybe it's okay to not disenchant on his end step and wait one more turn just to see if you draw the balance.
That's
which,
true.
like, I guess you ended up doing. I mean, obviously it's like low chances, so you're not going to get punished like that often. But it's a thing, right?
Yeah. So at least I got a couple of his lines out because I was like, okay, he's probably playing Fireball, Disintegrate, Earthquake. So I said, okay.
Well, even Drain Life, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, you really need him to play lands right now. Yeah,
So I'm feeling
what you-
good.
That's what you
So I'm
need.
like,
But he's at 33. That's a crazy amount of life. That Diamond Valley is we strangely
Yeah.
good. Lightning bolt.
like I gotta start getting him down because like
Yeah,
he's just.
the beats begin. Yeah, that's what you need. That's what you need. You need that.
So at this point, it's just yeah.
She needs to draw exactly Triskelion and Fireball.
Yeah. So I'm feeling okay. I'm like, okay, I got a Chaos Orb. I got removal, at least for one of his creatures. I know is going to come in.
This guy.
I'm like, yes, only 27 more life. 14 more turns and I can kill him. Actually, even more than that. He's got
29.
29. Yeah, it was brutal. He gained so much life from that card.
Yeah, strip mine the Diamond Valley. I guess so, right? Might as well. One strip mine
Yeah.
format, you gotta find the best line to
Yeah.
the utility land to
I didn't care
destroy.
for any. I was like, that card was a nuisance. So I'm like, okay, he has to either sacrifice it, the Roc Egg,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I have my Chaos Orb, so decides not to use it. Interesting enough, because he has. Oh yeah, because he had the sacrifice in his hand. So I'm wondering why he didn't just use the Diamond Valley. Interesting. Maybe to use it as a blocker for the factory. Maybe that was his thinking.
That red blast is kind of convenient for him. I mean,
Yeah.
with your side blast and your counter spell. Not for that though.
So at this point, I'm like debating like I can't Chaos Orb his Roc Egg itself because he'll just get a 4/4.
Yeah, no. Your Chaos Orb keeps the thing under control. Attack for 4, I guess, right? He'll block 1, but at least you can start dealing damage. Is that a second red blast? Did he draw a second red blast?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the thing is with that card, it's like so good, but
It's not like at the same time if you draw it and you need threats.
you see, like, I think, I mean, you do bring it in this matchup for sure, but
I think
there's a lot of cards that are threats in your deck that are just not blue. Like, there's a lot of
Yeah.
things that are just not blue that he has to still
I
deal
think
with.
if he brought in one, I think that would have been a good. But I think like bringing two, unless you're playing like a very heavy blue deck you're playing against a very heavy blue deck. I think one is probably just enough.
Maybe I'd be inclined to bring extras if I was on the draw. If I was going second, because if you're being more aggressive with your things, maybe I need to make sure I have for your side blast and your Serendibs. But if I'm going first, maybe I don't care so much about having multiples. Not sure. Man, this guy's good at top decking, and you're good at just having the fucking
I think
answer.
he red blast that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can pew pew your two.
Yeah. So now I'm
Lion
like,
boys.
okay, well,
It's a pretty good game. Pretty good game. Pretty good back and forth.
yeah, I'm shaking my
Yeah.
son of a
Set up again.
curses you.
Yeah.
I figured he was gonna do this, so I was like, I just kind of twisted his hand to kind of.
And then all he has to do is animate dead. Animate dead.
It is what it is. You can't play having that mindset where the guy's like, oh well, he could have
Oh.
this, so I'm not gonna do that.
Fuck, did you see your draw?
Blue elemental.
Yeah,
was,
you just drew the blue elemental.
But I'm like, okay, good, because the 4/4 flyer is a red creature. So I'm like, okay, I'm feeling pretty good. Plus, I have removal.
Also, you could stop his giant fireball, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, yeah, I remember. I think the game 2 was like the best match. Or maybe I'm lying. Stick around. And shameless plug, if you like this channel, like and subscribe.
Yep.
This channel has been brought to you by no sponsors.
My God, he's really drawing a lot of lands. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, he got. I remember he's like, and keep in mind he sacked 2 lands to the balance, 2 city brasses, so he was like getting flooded.
There you go. So the thing about Sarah Angel now is that I'm pretty sure all he can really do is threaten to take it away from you with a giant fireball or the Roc Egg, but you have so many answers to the Roc Egg that is really relying 100% on
a fireball or drain life.
Yeah, now on top of that, if it's a fireball, you have the red blast again. You have the red, so you have the Chaos Surfer, his 4/4, and you have the red blast with the fireball. So like it really needs to just be drain life, of which he's only playing 2. And he's got 2 cards in his hand. So honestly, the chances of the Sarah Angel living are pretty high, and that thing will start terrorizing his life total. Because even a Triskelion or a Suchi off the top aren't going to stop that thing from coming through.
No.
Yep. Sarah Angel, ladies and gentlemen. So I should replace this painting with a giant. Well, this is a print, but you know what I mean.
Okay, so he decides to play his 4/4.
And you have the 4 mana. Oh, is it a drain life or is it a fireball? So you basically have to hope that it's not a drain life. Alright, there you go. So you have that blue blast. Is he just going for your face or is he going for the Sarah?
I think he's going for my face. I think he has enough. With the sacrifice, possibly?
Yeah, I think it's 15, yeah. Unless it's a 14. What costs? Oh, okay, you're just gonna counter it. Interesting. I think that's probably a mistake, right? I mean, you should probably blue blast that so that you can power sync the drain life, maybe, right?
Possibly.
Unless you don't,
no, because I kept one open anyways, because in case he had
like a red elemental blast. Well, but still, I mean, ooh, okay, you're really respecting your counselor. Interesting.
Yeah, that's why I did it, because he had the Roc Egg, so I was like.
Honestly, it wouldn't also. It's also not crazy for you to not know that there's drain life in that deck.
Yeah.
I mean, the sacrifice might give it away probably, but you could. So far, you've only seen him use the sacrifice mana to play colorless spells, right?
Yeah.
So it's not crazy to not expect. Like, you're more likely to expect Fireball, Disintegrate, and Earthquake before you expect drain life.
Yeah. So that's why. Yeah, I was not expecting like drain life at all in this deck. I mean. I was expecting like Mind Twist and like Demonic Tutor, but not
another land. Jeez.
Yeah, so now I think. Yeah, so I kept the Blue Elemental Blast for his Roc Egg, so I was like, okay, I could swing with my Sarah. I'll just power sync because I know you couldn't afford it. I said, so you're tapped out? And he said, yeah. So I said, power sync.
Well, yeah, Time Walk is good.
Yeah, Time Walk, and then
all of a sudden 33 life becomes 5.
Yeah.
Demonic gets nothing. Maybe balance. I mean, what does he have? Oh, drain life. Oh my god, he can get a drain life, right? He can only put black mana into it. Like Fireball is not the answer unless he wants to kill your Sarah, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be drain life. Just gives him time to survive. Well, then he drain lives to Sarah and gains life. That's pretty good. Yeah, if he wants to kill the Sarah, it has to be able to drain life. So he can at least gain the life at the same time as kill the thing.
Yeah, because there's no point of getting the life and then 2 more turns you're dead. You have to get rid of that big. Well, I mean, I still have the factory.
Yeah, for sure. But like,
So
instead of him just being dead next turn, you taking 5 more turns, right?
I don't know what he got, honestly.
I think he's still searching. Are these sideboard? Yeah, these are sideboard. I wonder if he actually cut the drain lives. Would he have done that?
Possibly. Because I mean, he could fireball and then he could like fireball my face and the Sarah Angel at the same time. If he doesn't have enough, I don't. But then there's still the factory, so he would be dead. Yeah, he's looking. He's like, damn it! I used all my.
I really wonder if he would have cut the drain lives.
Maybe he did, and he's regretting.
I guess he scrolls through the deck. To me, it seems like maybe I think I'm pretty convinced it has to be drain life. It has to be drain life on the Sarah Angel. That's the only way he can gain more turns, as opposed to just kill a threat.
Yeah.
Like the factory wins in 3 turns, 2 if you draw another one, or drain life gives him like 5.
And he has to use black mana sources, so his mountains will do anything. His soul ring.
Yeah, but among his flood though, he's drawn a lot. So like, he demoned with 2 black mana. He should have used an emerald, right, and a swamp to give him 1 extra black.
Yeah.
But now he may know that he cut the drain lives for some reason, so it doesn't matter. But
So I think he's really contemplating. We're like discussing whether. Maybe we're just talking behind your back there, Mark.
yeah, ton of shit.
Just
Fucking ton of shit. Yeah, so no, I don't know. I'm curious. I would like him to let me know once he's editing these videos. Oh, why'd you do it?
So I think he's gonna just. Does he have enough to the face?
So he shoots the Sarah and he shoots your face. Are you just holding a counterspell this whole time? Just letting him do it all, and I'll drain life you for 1. I mean, mana power sink you for 1.
I just like. I let him do all the.
I hope you're laughing at his face right now.
He's like, I remember he was like, all this, and you had the power. He was like, yeah, I just wanted to make you do all the work and calculate and do all the math. And what's that line from the movie The Dark Knight? Some people just want to watch the world burn. Yeah. And there you go. I was like, yeah, it was a strange. I mean, had he not drawn so many lands, you would have had like more threats.
Yeah.
It would have been maybe a different match there, but yeah, it was a pretty good game, back and forth. And we just had like, I think we both drew pretty well. And at first I was initially disappointed because I had all my like disenchants, but they ended up actually helping me like enormously throughout this game. So had I not been like, I remember at one point he's like, "Would you draw your disenchants?" I was like,
Yeah.
No, speak it the English.
Yeah. So your hand has a turn 2 Ifrit, which is good in almost every scenario unless he gets his red blast, right?
Yeah.
Because the Roc Egg will still take a while before it comes into play. Even if he gets the nuttiest opening that includes it, it still costs 4, right? So he needs like... the 90, I guess that's not true. The 90th thing would be like a Lotus, turn 1, and then turn 2 Diamond Valley. So I guess he could technically... But that's like so many... You see what I'm saying, though? It's like...
It takes 2 cards,
you just play mana and you get your card. It's like you need so much to get that Roc thing going.
So I'm wondering, okay, he's got red elemental blast.
Do you disenchant the jet? Nah, too many important things to disenchant. Wow, so if he played Blood Moon right there, are you just screwed?
Maybe.
Chaos Orb always feels like nice when it's on the floor. When it's yours, you know you have it.
But you know, it's like even the last game, I could have used it many times, but I just like that's like break. That's my break glass, break the glass in case of emergency. Like I really need it there. So, like I try to always, the only thing with the Chaos Orb is like. You always want to try to leave that 1 mana open in case the opponent has a disenchant, but like he's playing red, so I'm figuring he might have Shatter. So I have to be.
Is he? I mean, for
on
us,
the side, I think he has Shatter. Yeah,
he's got 3 Shatters, but I don't think he's bringing that in versus you though. Okay, so he does not have his Red Blast. There's the Roc Egg now.
Yeah, I believe he's Suchi. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even see that he had that. Yeah, Suchi represents the bigger threat right now because Roc Egg needs the other card, which he might not have, whereas Suchi is essentially 5 damage, right? Because of your Efreet. Alright, so his clock is better than yours.
Yeah.
Now you have the Chaos Orb, so it begins.
So I do have the Chaos Orb, so I'm like, okay, worst case. Yeah, so even if he plays his Diamond Valley, I have like the Strip Mine, so I'm feeling pretty good. He can't like do his little shenanigans.
And intentional. Yeah, you're probably feeling really good right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I got a threat on the board. Okay, he's got a Suchi. I got land removal. I've got things coming to me, so I'm feeling in a pretty good spot because even if he attacks with the Suchi, I could still swing in for 5 with the factory. So I know at some points.
Well, if you orb his Suchi right now, he takes 4 damage too, no? Or is that on this format? Is there mana?
No, Swedish is no. It goes straight to the
That
graveyard.
is so bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Well, there's a cat in the way. What's this? Just going in a fireball? Okay.
A fireball. So I'm just like, alright, fair enough. Like, I know I can still swing in for 2 damage for this turn.
It would be insane if that Suchi also dealt him 4 damage, Like,
Yeah, no, that's why Suchi's so, like, huge in Swedish, because there's no, like...
Seems like there's almost no downside to playing.
No downsides. It's like,
colorless, so any deck can play it. 4/4.
Exactly. So now I'm feeling extremely good. I'm like, I have...
Strip Mine, Chaos Orb, Sarah, Factory.
So JS is like...
Yeah, he still has to get through that obstacle of the Chaos Orb. So the Sarah Angel is coming through for at least two swings, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just get rid of it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want any...
Also, he gains 0 life, right?
Yeah, he gains 0 life. So I was like, yeah. So we come in for 6.
And also lets you attack for 2 with the factory. So that's good. That's...
Yeah, so now he has like a 2-turn clock. He's got to put something on the board quick.
So from a pretty daunting game 1 to a...
And even now, I'm not feeling that bad. I mean, okay, he could ping my Sarah for 3 with a bolt. So I'm like, at least I have 1 turn to swing in.
But you might even just orbit, right, at this point? Like, just to get just to put him down to 1?
I don't remember what I did. Well, we'll find out.
Unless if you just shoot Side Blast. Or if you have Side Blast. Well, okay, Disenchant works too. Animate, swing for 6. And JS probably says, thank you very much for coming, get the hell out of my house.
Yeah. The door is that way?
The door is that way. I will shut it behind you.
Yeah.
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 Interesting. So I mean, Louder doing louder things in the last two games. More. The deck's prowess more on display maybe in that third game, but the second game was a good show of its resilience. And I mean, props to Js' deck, anyways. Like Roc Egg is always really cool.
Yeah, his deck was like really. You know, there's a lot of threats. There's a lot of things. It was like a pretty solid deck.
But that's the thing. The problem with those kinds of decks, though, the reason why we don't see them more often, the reason why they're not here, and the reason why they're not winning tournaments and all these things like as consistently as other decks is because if you look at the deck, there are a few cards, at least 2 playsets, that just need other things to be good.
Yeah.
Like Sacrifice on its own, like if you draw Sacrifice, it's just bad. It's just a bad card. Like it's really good if it works when it works. So those decks are just not consistent enough to top as often as decks like Louder or whatever shops in general or the deck, whatever. So it's just like the more cards you include in your deck that do nothing on their own, the weaker you make your deck. But it's like you have higher explosive potentials, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's like how you want to play the game, and then like, you can see from like how it performed in the first game. Like they're viable enough that you can still play and compete, and you might steal more than the first game. But yeah, I mean that's probably the reason why they're not as seen. But anyways, it's still like props to the deck, props to Js for playing it, and anybody else who's experimenting with things in the format because
that's the fun of it too. You know, I think a deck like that would probably see maybe in the tournament if there's like 40 players, top 10, top 15. You know, but I started out. Yeah, well, regardless of what I started out, I still managed to squeak in. Turn 1 or game 2 win, game 3 win with barely game 2. Just but it was lots of fun playing against JS, and it was
So I think we have another 1, 2, or 3 of these kinds of videos, and then back to monthlies. So
stay tuned for the next Clash of the Creators.
All right.